This game is rated M for mature. Hey there everybody, redxparasite here, and welcome back to Let's Play Bayonetta. In the last episode, we flew over to the Isla del Sol on a missile. We were, very warmly welcomed by Jean, with whom we had our final confrontation with. After which she revealed some of Bayonetta and her past and their history together. So in this episode, we will be climbing the Ithavoll Building as soon as we're done here at the Gates of Hell. So, still none of the other stuff in the Radon's treasures section, so I suppose may as well get the Odette Umbrenelegance here. Nothing to get there. And also a lot of that stuff, so yeah, I don't have enough to get any of these at present anyways, so I guess that'll be the only thing that we get for now. I think in order to unlock some of the other treasures in Radon's shop, you have to actually beat the game first, so we'll have more to buy actually after we do that. But for now, let's just start this chapter.
Welcome back, little one.
Mummy, where are we?
It looks like someone's expecting us. Awfully nice of them to roll out the red carpet.
Luca, you need to get one thing straight.
Yeah, I know. I won't look after you, so don't screw up. I got things under control.
Let's go. Stay next to me, little one.
Daddy?
What?
Daddy, it's Daddy!
Daddy?
Of course, Mummy. Can't you hear him? Okay, Daddy, I'm coming. And I'll bring Mummy with me.
Little one, wait!
This way, Mummy.
Little one! Little one!
Cerecita! Bayonetta! Damn it!
So, getting started here, the music for the lower floors of the Ithavoll Building is really good. Off to the right, there is a chest that has a broken witch heart in it. And that will complete another full one for us. So yeah, there's only one left at this point, and I can say that with 100% certainty now. So that's actually going to be the only secret for quite some time. So now we just have a whole bunch of fights in a row is basically what we're going to be doing now. So the first one here is optional. We have a fearless and fairness. So let's start off with a torture attack, and ooh, I just barely got the full charge on that. So I'm just gonna put this out here right at the beginning. This by far the hardest chapter in the game, in my opinion. And it's not that, you know, some of the individual fights are particularly difficult, just that you have a lot of them, and some of them are particularly difficult, so... I'm going to try to do my best to not... take a lot of damage and need to heal, but I'm not sure if I've actually beaten this chapter without healing before. So we'll see how that goes. We do have some flaming enemies here. So either you can use the fire Durga on them, you can also use hold fire on them as well. Or if you dodge their attacks, then you can attack them during witch time. So yeah, just don't touch them with anything else, or else you'll get, you know, hurt, and you won't do damage too. Now the one thing I think that doesn't work on them that I feel like it should is actually Sharaba. I feel like you'd be able to, you know, make contact with the sword without getting hurt yourself, but game does not see it that way. So got a pure platinum. These two statues actually are not averse, so if you destroy them, you'll just get some concocting ingredients, I think. We do have a fight coming up in here, though, and do not really like this one because I'm not the biggest fan of braids. So I think there's a total of 4 of them here. Yep, and they fused. Although, actually, the fused one didn't end up... Oh, there it is. It's like... It didn't have a lot of health there at the start, and I was kind of perplexed. So I haven't taken damage yet, and I'm actually kind of surprised. I did practice twice for this, just in anticipation of it being pretty hard. Okay, so these two statues, however, will be a fight. So they are gracious and glorious. So just remember, you won't be able to get witch time off of them. I'm going to go ahead and use these torture attacks here just so that I can actually get them off before I, you know, take any damage. So that should take care of that one. Oh, not quite. So, I would recommend Sharaba for this fight. I just find it a lot easier to hit them with. But if I'm not talking a lot during this chapter, it's just because I'm trying to concentrate. Alright, and that will be the end of verse 4. I do not blame you at all if you want to skip that verse. Okay, so I think we have 2 joys? Yep. So there's really not much to talk about here in terms of new enemies. It's just kind of a mix of some some of the older ones. Very nice red light coming in through these windows. I actually want to look out and see what this is. I don't know if I've ever checked these windows before. Filled with a red liquid are suspended from a giant shaft. It seems that each container's contents are being pumped up to the top of the building. Not exactly sure what that is. But, let's see, coming up here, we're going to have some enchants. Okay, and then should be a Grace and Glory. So this should be death on this one. So it took a little bit of damage there, but otherwise that was pretty good. Okay, so you are going to need to avoid this temperance punching you some, I think, during this section. You can get hit. So, for verse 7, we just have a few affinities, not too much of a threat. Okay. There's the end of that verse. Doing pretty well so far, actually, all things considered. So, we're actually coming up to probably my least favorite verse in the chapter. So, we have a temperance here. And what we're supposed to do is shoot at it with these big guns. So, getting a primer on the controls here, aim, fire, and get out. So pretty simple, but as you'll see, it's very easy to take a lot of damage in this part, and because you basically have to know exactly what order to take out these missiles it's launching at you. So the green things, because if you miss one, you're probably not going to be able to get to all of the other ones in time. So every so often it's going to try to charge up this giant laser attack. And as far as I can tell, there's no way to dodge this. So I think you just have to try to hit it enough to make it cancel out the attack. But I obviously wasn't successful there, so I really do not know how to deal with that. And of course, it does like a pretty sizable chunk of damage too. So this part is just not really that fun in my opinion, because aside from shooting down the missiles, which provides the bulk of the challenge, it's very repetitive. So there you go. I actually managed to prevent it that time, so hopefully that should be dead. As you can see, I probably took at least half of my first health bar and damage from that part alone. So after you defeat the temperance here, this is where the first secret, after the very first one is. So guess what? We're running all the way back to the beginning. And when I say all the way back to the beginning, I mean all the way. So this will probably take the better part of half a minute to get back through here, because you have to run through all these rooms where we had the previous verses. And oh boy, the Alpine verse that's coming up is not not very fun. You will see when we get there, which is coming up slowly but surely. Okay, so I'm gonna change my weapons up a little bit for this one. So, Witch Time is disabled, and we have a bunch of fire enemies. So, since we can't damage them during Witch Time, basically our only options are to use a fire weapon, so, you know, Durga. You can also use Hold Fire and Wicked Weaves to damage them. The last one that you can use is... you can actually use Angel Arms against them, so once you kill the Ardor there, you can actually use its sword, and that will hurt them without you taking damage, but... this one's just not fun. I'm already down to 2 health. This is probably not gonna be a successful attempt. Yeah, so yeah, I was too close on that one. Okay, well, this is probably going to take me a while, so I will see you whenever I succeed. Whew. Well, second try is actually not too bad for that, so I will take what I can get. So, for beating you, get a Broken Witch Heart. One thing you can do with this one, if you have the Durga and Durga alt, you can equip both of those and be able to use both, your hands and your feet. If you want to try that. I generally find it a little bit more difficult than just trying to do the hold fire and, Wicked Weave strategy. So, alright, I will change back to Sharaba, and I'll save you the trouble, and I will meet you back up where we were. Alright, so after the Temperance fight, right in front of the stairs here, we have a note. So this is Island in the Sun, Isla del Sol. The Ithavoll Group, once a medium-sized IT company, through acquisitions has broadened its business base and become one of the world's leading conglomerates. Their base of operations is on a man-made island off the coast of Vigor known as Isla del Sol. Isla del Sol was initially constructed to concentrate Vigor's urban functions in one area and facilitate expansion. However, its true function is to funnel enormous power to the ruling authorities, creating an autonomous region under Ithavoll Group control in order to facilitate the creation of a theocracy. The CEO of the Ithavoll Group, claiming to be a descendant of the Lumen, has used his economic and political strength, even exploiting the faith of the people, to bend Vigrid to his will. That is how he was able to influence the construction of the island as well as the city's urban planning to match his own religious views. Buildings are lined up as if in an enormous spiral being drawn towards the center of the island, a symbol of the trinity of realities known as the cosmos of chaos. Among these urban structures, there are SAM-equipped strategic defense sites known as Gallerhorns, tall buildings creating a skyward barrier that is nearly impregnable. At the center of this curtain of defense lies the Ithavoll Building, the heart of the Ithavoll conglomerate. I've been able to obtain important information regarding the building itself. While it may be the outward symbol of the city's wealth and pride, the inner sanctum of the building is home to advanced energy research that the Ithavoll CEO is secretly using as leverage that he hopes will allow him to remake the world according to his vision. It sounds absurd, but I've seen things on that island so strange that I believe it now with all my heart and soul. So, only a few more notes left to go. I do think that we are actually at a good place to end off this episode, so thank you very much for watching this episode of Let's Play Bayonetta. I've been redxparasite, signing out.